Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we experimented with some prototypes that were intended to eventually become a lander, essentially, for Eve. That were basically aircraft that I was trying to design. They were driven by purely electric motors that would drive propellers to allow the vehicle to fly to an altitude where, when it engaged its rocket motors or rocket engines, that it would be able to get into orbit and avoid the thickest parts of Eve's atmosphere. And my reasoning was that if it flies reasonably well on Kerbin, it should fly very well on Eve, because Eve has a thicker atmosphere. And so the prototypes that I came up with, designed a couple of them, and they worked pretty well, all told. They flew, controlled relatively well, but they had some limitations in terms of their top speed, their, altitude limits, that sort of thing, and wasn't really quite able to get one that could get above the atmosphere, let alone in orbit. So at the end of the episode, I decided that I would, continue to iterate and kind of try to tweak the designs a little bit to see if I could get something that would work. And I have gone ahead and done that. And what I found is that in order to get the rocket engines to have enough fuel and enough delta V to do what they need to do, makes those craft so heavy that the propellers won't be able to drive them enough to fly. At least not in Kerbin's atmosphere anyway. And so became kind of this trade-off of, atmospheric flight performance to rocket performance, and just could never quite get things to line up just right. So I don't think that concept is going to work for the purposes of returning a crew from the surface of Eve to Eve orbit. Now what I might still do, what I probably actually am going to do, is to use one of those designs as kind of a Eve excursion vehicle in lieu of a rover, to allow the crew that once they land to explore different areas of Eve. At least that's my current thinking anyway. So I think we're going to be actually taking two vehicles to Eve. One is going to be kind of the manned lander that is going to get the crew back to orbit. And then the other one is going to be an aircraft driven by electric motors with propellers, because I want to use those electric props to actually fly around and do some science on Eve. So we're going to continue working on these designs. And I think I have discovered the parts and technology that I'm going to need to make this work. So let me actually go ahead and head into the vehicle assembly building. And actually, as it turns out, it really is quite simple. It's actually going to be very, very simple indeed. Because there was a technology that I have available that I was not aware that I did. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a fuel tank. And we're just going to go ahead and grab a pretty standard 2.5 meter medium-sized fuel tank here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and fill this thing purely with oxidizer only. All right, so now what we have is we have this direct cycle nuclear turbojet. this takes in intake atmosphere. Now, this is not intake air. This does not actually engage in any sort of combustion to create thrust. It just takes in the ambient atmosphere, uses a nuclear reactor to superheat it, and then expel it out the back. So it can fly in any atmosphere at all. It can work in any atmosphere. But it's a bit weird. For some reason, it doesn't let me do any more than 2 at a time, which is fine. And actually, I believe, if I'm correct on this, this is a type of nuclear ramjet or turbojet, or, well, just nuclear jet technology that actually was considered or proposed, but never actually adopted for a number of different reasons. Not least of which that, you know, basically spewing radioactive exhaust out the back of these things is not exactly great. And if the aircraft that used them crashed, it would be a nuclear disaster. So, yeah, generally abandoned as an idea. But the value of it is that if you can get it to work, the aircraft can fly basically indefinitely, or for as long as the reactor's fuel supply lasts. Which can be a very, very long time. So, I'm just going to kind of slap together something quick here just to demonstrate what these things do. Give them some intakes. We're going to give you a remote control unit. You need some batteries. And we might as well throw a command pod on here as well. With maybe parachutes. Which... why am I blanking on where... We're going to need some landing legs. There's my parachute. Alright. Just to serve as a nose cone. Alright, now this should work. Oh, we're actually going to also need some thermal... radiators. I'm not really sure how much we're going to need as far as... radiators. But for now, let's just throw that on there. Alright. So, this is going to be Eve Lander 3 test 3. Alright. Now I'll launch them. Or launch this. All right, so if we turn them on, and we really should only need about they gotta kind of heat up a little bit. But, yeah, we give them about half thrust, maybe 3/4 thrust. Thrust to weight starts coming up. Actually, we need to back this down a little bit. It's kind of odd. Oh, there actually is one other thing I need to do. Is this has the option to switch propellants. Actually, no, hold on. Custom 5. Which is why I have that big tank of oxygen there. And then if we hit that, it switches over to the oxidizer internally. And so they begin to function as rocket engines. I don't know why this thing is wobbling like this, but... All right, and just to demonstrate, we can actually get into orbit. You tell it to hold maneuver. And something just exploded. Is my radiator panels. Yeah, that's one thing I'm gonna need to figure out. Is the radiators. It also doesn't give me a good burn time here. That's alright. We'll just advance to about 30 seconds to go. not know why that is wobbling the way it is. Doesn't make any sense. But we're in orbit, essentially. So there you go. That's an SSTO from Kerbin. And it should work pretty much the same on Eve. Probably have to refine things a little bit better. Maybe we'll only use 2 engines. But for now, I think this is what we're going to use as our primary lander. Alright, let's just deorbit it. Alright, and then we'll just go ahead and head back to Space Center. We'll just let that thing fall as it will. All right, so now we actually do need to turn this thing into a proper lander. All right, what I actually might do is let's try this. These can be scaled. So if we scale them down a little bit, also have to scale their intakes down a little bit. Right, and if we're going to make this thing a lander, we're going to have to make some adjustments here, because we don't want that parachute. What I need instead is a docking port. It's gonna need life support. So let's see. Just have it go at plain white. What kind of 128 days? Yeah, that should be perfect. All right, the crew hatch is here. So what we should do is do that. And we're gonna need ladders all the way down the side of the ship. We won't be able to use the RCS packs to do stuff here. Oh, we're putting... Well, might as well. Alright, and then that ladder extends. Yeah, then we should be fine. Alright. Also going to want... Gonna cap this off a little bit. No. There we go. Texture. That'll do, I guess. Alright, so with docking port, we can get in and out, hopefully. What we're also going to need is parachutes. Let's throw those on. Radial lander leg, no. That works. That will be like, what, 5 chutes? How heavy is this thing? 42 tons? We could do some propulsive landing if I had to. It's also going to need science packs. Trying to figure where we would do that. Move these up a little bit. All right. I'm going to actually have them start extended. We need RCS thrusters, RCS tanks. It's going to need science experiments. Trying to decide where that's going to get put. think it would make sense for the science. Gonna be over here. This should work. Advanced Mobile Processing Lab, Atmospheric Fluid Spectrovariometer. I guess we can kind of lap those on here somewhere. Actually, let's do it like this. Oh, we need it doubled. There we go. Seismic accelerometer, barometric barometer, what we're looking for. Dual technique magnetometer. Probably won't be using that. Surface sample collection drill. Interesting. Gas chromatograph mass spectrometer. Would be something we probably would want. Liquid? No, we want gas. Magnetometer, let's see. That's something else. Gamma ray spectrometer. Probably something we're gonna want to do at some point. We won't have a rover. That's all right. I think that should be good for experiments. We'll have a scientist, so the scientist will be able to clean these experiments and run them multiple times. So, that's good. Let's save that. And let's see how it flies. Again. Alright. Oh, this thing is carrying liquid fuel. Oh, that's fine. That should happens if I throttle this thing up to full. us to wait. 1.3, 1.4. We may need some sort of aerodynamic. Did I forget to add the action groups again? I think I did. Yep, I gotta remember to do that. At least I can do it on the fly as needed. No, no, no. That gives us 3,600 meters per second on Delta V. When we switch over to internal oxidizer. Now, electric charge. We might actually want some amount of solar power available here. Don't know why my radiators keep blowing off like that. Yeah, the drop off of thrust is not instant. That's fine. Prograde, let's fire those engines up. Periapsis. Yeah, that's going to be very difficult for fine maneuvering. I might need some sort of smaller engine for orbital work. I'll have to see about that. The rendezvous and docking is going to be difficult if these engines can't shut down very quickly. Alright, I actually want to see how this thing looks re-entering. wobbling like that? All right. I just want to let it enter and react aerodynamically. I want to see how this thing looks. It is going to want to flip around nose first. Something just exploded. Looks like these parachutes aren't working. Interesting. As I said, we could land propulsively if we wanted to. Yeah, we lost some experiments. Okay. Oh, no, that one just hasn't been duplicated. Wonder if that mod is broken. Well, we have other options. Slow us down, slow us down. Nope. A little too hard there. Alright, no problem. Is there anything to recover? I think it's manageable. Alright. We are going to need some sort of heat shields. That should have been duplicated. There we go. Alright. So... Thruster power. Alright, hopefully that will work. As far as monopropellant, yeah, we're gonna actually get rid of these. So pull that off, get rid of that. Let's see, these monopropellant tanks. No, don't necessarily want to put them down there. Well, what we could do is probably make this a monopropellant tank. Yeah, pull that off. Procedural RCS tank. I'd like you to make you a cone, actually. Plain white's fine. That gives me what? 472. That'll do. What does this drill do when it deploys? Will that actually reach the surface? No, it won't. Let's see, will that reach the surface? That will, okay. That's probably what we're gonna have to do. Track the drill. Okay, there we go. Alright, what am I gonna do about parachutes? I guess we're gonna have to use these. they're still not showing up in the stage list. Something is not working there. I'm probably going to have to take a look at that before we do anything. But I think that this will work for what we're going to do. Now, I think we're going to need a heat shield. Meter inflatable heat shield. Right. I've tried that before. That might work. All right. We'll give it a try anyway. Give it a try. All right, I need to set up the action groups. We're switching the propellant. That's the wrong stack decoupler there. There's the one we need. Okay. And then we're going to need a payload fairing. That's about 3.75? 5 meter? Bump up that ejection force, build the fairing. All right. There we go. I think it'll work. We'll find out. I can never find... There it is. There There it is. That's the engine I'm looking for right there. Alright, there we are. That gives me 4,500 meters per second on delta V. We'll probably need a little bit more than that. Coupling. Yeah, there we go. Throw a couple of giant solid rocket boosters on here, and I think that will do it. Thor 2s. How about these? These are the larger ones. .500 meters per second at delta V. Yeah, that ought to do it. All right. So we'll go ahead and save that there. And I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to go figure out what's going on with the parachutes. We can save that now, and we're going to go ahead and leave here, because we're going to head back over to the space plane hangar here. All right, we want to open up the Lander 2, I think is what we're going to use. That doesn't matter. And if we're not going to make this thing the SSTO, then we don't need the rocket engines. We probably don't need anywhere near as much wing. So let's pull all this wing material off. And let's see if we can't go with something a little bit different. Let's see. Still gonna go delta wing, obviously. We need center of mass, we need center of lift. Center of lift's gotta be behind the center of mass. Oh, we still haven't thrown the actual rest of the wing on yet. Let's see. What if I did this? All right. And we're going to need the control surfaces. You are not going to be yaw. You are not going to be yaw. There we go. Center mass is in front of center lift. Now, I am going to need rockets of some kind here. Got lots of rocket fuel. Let me see. Procedural RCS tank. What if I were to throw that back here? And we threw on our engines. Let's make these a little bit longer. Maybe not by... yeah, like that. And then we just threw a nose cone on here. Will be another procedural RCS. Set to that. Texture would just be plain white. There we are. And then we would just need our landing gear here with part extensions. Now you're also going to need RCS, but we want to make sure these are the aerodynamic RCS. Why are we doing things like that? Then we'll put it there. Put it there, and we're gonna need another set. You're still doing this to me. There we go. Another set there. I think that will do it. Okay, let's just give it a flight. And, see how it goes. Make sure that it's still stable. This does have the control on there. Yes, it does. Okay. This should actually fly better because it doesn't have as much mass on it. Let me just make sure that my controls work. All right, good. Make sure that your steering lock is on. Steering lock is on. There we go. (893 meters per second at delta V. That should be perfect. Get the stability assist on. Yeah. Flies great. Ooh. Seems a little tail heavy here. I've lost control. Well, it wouldn't have killed the crew, so I guess that's something. I missed something there. Oh, yep, it is tail heavy. Well, that's because of these. These shifted the mass, didn't it? See, the thing is, I can move those back all I like. Because those masses are attached to those wings. just need to make these a little bit longer, I think. Alright, well, it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but... probably what we need to do. No, gotta stay on. There you go. Torque limit. There we go. Then we can proceed. And I can use the RCS. We don't really need the RCS, but you know, just want to make sure that it's working. Yeah, that's doing a lot better. Alright, let's see if I can successfully land it. We are losing electric charge. That's because we don't have good sun exposure on the solar panels, but that's alright. Alright, we want to kind of bring it in close to approach and then throw the brakes on. And then glide our way in the rest of the approach. Whoa, what the? Did we lose a blade? I think we lost a blade. Gotta be careful about that. Now that would unbalance that motor. But it looks like that we can survive losing a blade. One blade on one motor. Let's make sure that those rockets will not destroy the control surfaces or the wing or anything when they fire. No, they're not going to. Alright, now what about some rougher terrain than the runway? Don't know exactly what we're going to find when we get there. If I do brake, then it does recharge, okay? Now this shouldn't be too tough to land on. Oh. Huh? It's all right. Looks good. And then take back off. Shouldn't be a problem. It does generate some electricity, but not enough. Yeah, so if we get poor lighting conditions, what I might have to do is do it in short hops, where I fly for a bit and then have to land to recharge. Or just throw some more solar panels on here. Alright, but I think that's probably all we're going to do for today. I think that my two vehicles are ready. I need to do some more testing with the actual, like, standard lander, I guess we could call it. We gotta figure out why certain things aren't working, like the parachutes and stuff, but once I get that sorted and make sure that the heat shield works the way I want it to, that'll be ready to go. Go ahead and get it docked, and I'll have to go ahead and get this thing up there and docked, and yeah. Then we'll just need to wait for the transfer window and then get that mission started. What? Something down there. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and stop here for today. So for now, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.